Hello, my name is Obona Higgins. I am the unseated council president of Philadelphia, here to tell you the importance of having Congress hold a standing committee on the 13th Amendment. Here's why this is important. The 39th Congress in 1865 agreed that Section 1 of the 13th Amendment banned some of the badges and incidents of slavery. Unfortunately, they disagreed over which ones. The Democrats claimed that it outlawed only the core incidents of slavery, like the chattelization of people and forced labor, but the Republicans maintained that it banned a far broader and future set of incidents. In 1968, the U.S. Supreme Court determined that Congress had the power under Section 2 of the 13th Amendment to finish the work of Reconstruction by determining the current badges, incidents, vestiges of slavery, and the authority to define both civil and criminal recourse and remedy. Badges of slavery are not merely historical artifacts like cross burnings, but are present in various forms of systemic discrimination, social inequities, and unadulterated hatred for people of emancipated ancestry. Incidents of slavery manifest in everyday social activities that work to tarnish the status and rights of persons and communities who battle current afflictions of emancipation. Vestiges of slavery linger in the disparities seen in the wealth gap, access to business capital, the national anthem, the Olympics, valuation of assets, labor, education, community development, and the criminal justice system. The 13th Amendment subsumed the bodies of former slaves and their emancipated offspring, and by its own unaided force and effect, caused an expansion of federal court jurisdiction and the need for ancillary and enabling legislation, namely the Civil Rights Act of 1866, Habeas Corpus Act of 1867, Enforcement Acts of 1870 and 1871, and Reconstruction Acts, all designed to moot further challenges to emancipation from the politics of America and ensure that proper modes of redress, civil, criminal, interpersonal, and official remain compatible with an American freedman status, standing, and capacity to initiate causes of action that provide government protections from all shades and conditions of slavery. Congress mandates American freedmen to be free from barriers to assets and wealth accumulation, gentrification schemes, racial terror, and inferior support structures that are Confederate-inspired. In contrast, these devices act as challenges to emancipation and forms of treason. In 1968, the U.S. Supreme Court decision in Jones versus Alfred H. Mayer Company arbitrated to the nation's inferior courts that any characterization or attempt to define slavery's modern badges and incidents would be construed as an usurpation of congressional powers. In doing so, the Supreme Court of the United States relinquished jurisdiction over all civil and criminal 13th Amendment claims, leaving the American freedmen unable to enforce rights in court, guaranteed by the Civil Rights Act of 1866. American freedmen need access to courts of specialized jurisdiction created by Congress under its Section 2, 13th Amendment powers to preside over cases that are now deemed beyond the jurisdiction aforesaid. This can be achieved through a standing committee on the 13th Amendment. To date, American freedmen are only emancipated from 4 things. 1, being sold on auction blocks as chattel. 2, forced to pick cotton from sun up to sundown without pay. 3. Not being able to enter into a contract or engage in commerce. 4. Prevented from giving testimony against white people in court. All other badges of slavery have conveniently escaped congressional definition and have devastating effects on the quality of life of American freedmen. The unfinished business of the 13th Amendment demands our unwavering commitment. Are the American freedmen experiencing a gradual abolition from slavery due to the Congress's failure to define the modern badges, incidents, and vestiges? The concept of the badges and incidents of slavery is meant to assist Congress in identifying ways in which it can fulfill its promise under the 13th Amendment of full emancipation. How can America claim it has fully emancipated its slaves when its courts lack legislative guidance on what a badge of slavery is and how to provide justice? This legislative guidance is owed to today's third, fourth, and fifth generation chattel slavery survivors. The United States Congress is charged under a constitutional mandate to remain devoted to the work of and watch over emancipation. I interpret this work and supervision as meaning the crafting of legal remedies to confront the legacies of slavery in the United States. It is misguided to leave the 13th Amendment as a mere historical curiosity whose sole purpose was accomplished with the end of buying and selling people. The historical harms and ongoing trauma inflicted by the institution of slavery and its modern vestiges necessitate bold and decisive action and have cost America over $16 trillion since 2000. Unless Congress finishes the work of Reconstruction, American freedmen are not fully emancipated, but are being emancipated gradually and illegally. Congress specifically identified slavery's insufferable pretensions, customs, as a subject of regulation when it passed the Civil Rights Act of 1866. It is my goal to highlight the important implications for how the 13th Amendment should be construed in America today and develop a plan of action that moves Congress to convene a special commission on the 13th Amendment to finally define the badges, incidents, and vestiges of slavery. It's time for a full emancipation from slavery. The 13th Amendment serves as a powerful tool to address contemporary issues related to freedom and what today's third, fourth, and fifth generation chattel slavery survivors are specifically emancipated from. It is time to bring this important amendment out of suspended animation and achieve full emancipation. And for the record, reparations are promised under the 13th Amendment. I need your help to get this done. Contact Obona Hagen's unseated member of Philadelphia City Council, 267-257-9119. Be advised that your financial support is greatly appreciated and will help ensure the success of this movement. I thank you for listening and sharing this information. Please visit the links provided to donate.